its own universe. So we just started playing around with sketches. These are actual sketches. This is how rough it is in the beginning. We start going into vector graphics. This was some of the first sketches, really organic feel, maybe too crazy with the colors, and going into more monochrome to have George pop out more. And we found this kind of language where we have some reminiscence of the Lego bricks, like the small dots on top of it. It's a bit more constructed feel to the illustration style. We have some references for the fans to old school Lego. If you know them, if you've been playing with Lego, the old flowers from the Lego sets way back. We played around with graphics on top, of course. This was one of the first versions of George. Notice he has like high hair and green pants. But we had this idea that George would be, for some reason, a part of the story is he's always traveling alone. He's always taking pictures of himself. So of course he had to have that the characteristic angle, always a bit blurry in the top of the, or in the screen there, looking in at one side. Of course he should be in front of the water. This could be like, this was one of the first drafts we sent to Lego, and they liked it from the beginning. So they didn't really like the color, so we played around with, this was again the demo app, was the Hawaii level. So we looked at old Hawaii Waikiki posters to get a feel of the colors. We tested out a lot of color schemes and trying to find the style, how monochrome and how buried it should be. So this was one of the one we landed for the demo app. And notice George gets a haircut here, so the high hair, and now this is the hair he has in the actual app now, I think. So this is the intro animation from the final game. So again, really simple. This had to be programmed because it was a native app, and video was just too heavy. So everything is kind of, this is our After Effects files, but everything is made so that it can be programmed easily. So we just started crafting all the other levels. This is for the New York level, of course. This is how we did it. So every level has these 10 models that you have to build. We started crafting the interface. It should be simple enough for you to hit with the children's fingers, to be able to hit with on the small iPhone screen, but still detailed enough to not to be too rough. So this is the game interfaces, the buttons, the feedbacks. This is the animations. How does the buttons come up? This is the settings page. So everything like that, trying to make this is like an intro for the art level. Going to the museum. So we just try to put, just for the fun of it, to put fun things in there and let him have some fun. So this was the game, how the game came about. So at the same time, we had kind of had a sidetrack. We wanted to do something special for the launch, but Lego didn't really have any money to do it. They thought George had the potential to become some kind of a movement, some kind of a fan thing that fan would pick up on. The way they do this is they start building, or they start producing 10,000 boxes to put out in Lego brand stores. So it's a really limited amount of boxes. A bit of the boxes were sold online, I think, but they just wanted to create this kind of sense of movement, but they didn't have any money at all, no money for media spend or anything. So we helped them brainstorm for some ways to get George out there. So they already had given George kind of a voice, kind of a cheeky way to speak, and they wanted to have him interact with the fans. So we did kind of a revelation campaign, or campaign is maybe a big word, so we just did a Facebook fan, or Lego did, and started communicating. We tried to get people to co-create on Facebook, telling stories, taking George on travels and telling stories, and we used the PR, getting all the thing about Lego is that every media just loves Lego, so it's actually pretty easy to get into TechCrunch and Engadget and all that kind of stuff, co-design, fast design, all these blogs and news sites. That's pretty easy but like getting really getting in touch with the fans, yeah, you have to do that in a certain way. So they just started communicating themselves. Actually, the guys working with from New Business Group. This is the first post. People are just like, this is basically people who know about the project, because it's like nobody knows what it is. So it's this August 9th. So I probably opened it around there. We started giving George a voice. He talked about stuff that he loved, like old games, and he had this awesome word, like everything is awesome. So he's a really positive, upbeat, kind of cheeky guy, and we tried to get that, like him, giving him a voice. So people started reacting, who's George, and especially on Twitter, but I couldn't find the tweets, but people are really starting to react on George. Lego started posting, like taking him on vacation and just doing like the basic postcard shots and posting them on Facebook. So he's playing around with one of his friends in the sand, and people really picked up on that. I'll show you a bit later. So at this point nobody knew what it was. So and Lego fans are pretty nosy. As soon as they see something, they can like kind of smell that something is coming up. So a picture like this may mean nothing to us, but they'll go into this picture, they'll find out what the product code is, what's this product, and when is it coming, what it's about, who's producing it, and kind of like we know from Apple products, but maybe a bit less fanatic, but still it's pretty fanatic crowd, the Lego fans. So they posted this video like a month before the launch this is actually a week before the launch, with factory boxes with the number on. So just like boxes rolling out of the factory with Life of George name on, and nobody knew what it was. They just knew this cheeky character from Facebook. So people are really getting nosy and wanting to know what it is. People are even starting, even though they don't know what this is, they're starting to make up their own characters on Facebook. So this character pretends that George knocked her up and she's pregnant, 8 months pregnant. And George is like, no, that's not what happened. That's not how it happens in our world. And trying to like, whoa, what's going on? So this is just fans reacting before they even know what the game is like. So even before people know what the game was like, they started doing stuff like this. This is before the game is released. So these kids are fans of George, even though they don't know what he is. He's just a character with like 16 bricks or something like that. So people started posting these photos even before the game came out. This is from Christmas, so it's after the game. But there was a lot of general appreciation. It's so easy to build him, so easy to get involved. People are really getting creative with George, like all kinds of, like you would expect, baking cakes. A lot of giant Georges we saw. Mechanical trousers George. Just like people building Wii characters to look like George. Christmas George, I don't know what this is. This is Starbucks worker George. Mario Brothers George. So naked George. People are really having fun with George. This is family reunion. This is another family reunion. He has a big family apparently. Like a fight off of some kind. Somebody caught a snapshot of him fighting with somebody. Cutting his hair, like it's just crazy break dancing. People are really into this character. This is like kind of Picasso version, I don't know. So from the beginning we had this idea of, from Amelie, the movie Amelie, to pass George around. We didn't get to do that, but actually the fans did it themselves. So fans, this is Lego starting to say, of course the Lego group took George traveling and took pictures everywhere they went for the summer holiday, but a lot of this is just fans reacting and fans posting pictures of George on the, I mean that's really, some of these, maybe the game has been out for a month or something like this, so they take this character on their vacation and take photos with him. That's pretty amazing. So this was really funny, and it's going on. There's like about one picture a day coming on the Facebook fan page, just George everywhere in the world, mountain climbing, China, skateboarding, buried in sand, Paris, and then even like part of some movie, I don't know what that is, London. Yeah, people getting crazy, all green with like, this is supposed to be like his skiing outfit. I don't know what it is. So people are getting crazy. New York, of course, that's somebody even brought him to their wedding. Like there's several pictures of George at some girl's wedding. I don't know what. That's really fan culture, and even at a Willie Nelson concert. That must be the peak of George's like fame career. So people are starting to play, and you can post your results from on Facebook. So people are starting to post all these results, and I don't know. We didn't expect how fast people would play this game, but within a week or something, a lot of people already finished all the levels. So we were kind of screwed because there was the possibility of building your own stuff, of course, which is like endless, an endless game. But this people started demanding more levels. So for holiday, we did these holiday. I don't know why it doesn't anymore. We did holiday levels with different games based on Christmas stuff. So the future of George is only, like you can see, it's from August. It's released September 1st. So future of George is, I can't tell too much about it, but it's we are kind of taking George into some new kind of game. So this is like the first level. This is coming out in April in like a real box, a smaller box. So this was the test version. So it's coming out in every market and in more shops and in traditional toy shops. So he kind of proved that the concept worked. But we're working on some new interactive like features, new games for him to be released this year. So that's the future of George. It's going to be awesome. That's all I can say. So thank you for your awesomeness.